The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties. Good afternoon, everyone. Live from Darien High School. It is high school girls lacrosse on the HAN Network. Along with Frank Granito and AJ Simonowski, Eric Gendron directing, I'm Rob Adams. Today, the Darien Blue Wave with a record of 11-1-1, 7-0 in the FCIAC, take on their rivals, the new Canaan Rams, 12-1 overall, 8-0 in the FCIAC. And an exciting day here in girls lacrosse, two of the best in the FCIAC in high school girls lacrosse, Frank, and good afternoon to you. And really, I expect this to be a good one here today.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. And it almost feels like we're same story, different day now. So how many times have we had a game this year, New Canaan and Darien, where they're both sitting up at the top of the conference? And this should be a really good game. Two of the best teams in the state. They know each other very well. They've played for 4 years now, and hopefully this won't be the last time we see them.
And you look at both rosters and you say to yourself, these are names we are so familiar with, all such good players on the New Canaan side. You look at Catherine Granito and Carly Bucci, and you look down at Sammy Stewart and Campbell Armstrong coming off a 5-goal game. Top to bottom, a really good team for New Canaan.
They really are, and the one question mark that you could make the argument for right now on the New Canaan roster is the goalie Caroline O'Day, and only because she's a freshman. She's coming in here today. This will be her first game against Darien, and no matter what she thinks she has faced, this will be a whole different story today.
On the other side for Darien, again, names you're familiar with. Susie Rope had a big game. Laura Murphy coming off a big game as well. Chandler Kirby, Daphne Budd, Sky Vandenbroek, and of course Carly Schudel, who we were really impressed by with her play against Manhasset a few weeks ago.
And that's the Manhasset game, is the one game on their schedule. They have the tie. They ended it after 3 overtimes, but Shu was unbelievable in that game, and there is a lot of depth to this Darien roster from top to bottom.
This is an exciting day here, as we mentioned. You know, the crowd's still filing in, but we've got a whole bunch of visitors decked out in blue, not with a rooting interest per se, but they are here from Harlem Lacrosse and Leadership. They are here from PS 76 out of New York, so nice to have them all here as well.
Absolutely great cause and job by the Darien Lacrosse team inviting them up here for a game. All the girls were absolutely ecstatic when they got onto campus and looking forward to seeing such a great game today.
The Blue Waves head coach Lisa Lindley, who we visited with for a moment before the game, she said that they have formed a partnership with this summer club team, which is her summer club team, the Connecticut Grizzlies, has formed that partnership with Harlem Lacrosse and Leadership. That's a great job.
It really is, and it's something, Rob, we were here a couple weeks ago, and we saw the boys of New Canaan and Darien unite for the fight against cystic fibrosis. It's little things like this that make the schools in this conference stand out as not just elite athletic programs, but elite communities as well. Starting lineups being introduced right now here at Darien High School. We're watching the Rams come out and say their hellos with Catherine Granito, Carly Bucci, Ellery Barron, Braden Dial, along with Sammy Stewart, Amelia Carroll, Kylie Murphy, Campbell Armstrong, Maze Hennessy, and Caroline O'Day in net. And I believe I missed Julia Ozimek as well. Right on cue.
See? That's what it's all about. On the Darien side, they haven't introduced them yet, but we'll give you the starting lineup. Kaylee Morrill, Emma Lesko, Logan Book, along with Katie Cronin, Susie Rope, Laura Murphy, Chandler Kirby, Katie Ramsey, Daphne Budd, Sky Vandenbroek, and Carly Schudel in goal. So, again, names that you're familiar with, and two teams that know what they need to do out here today. They're familiar with each other.
They're very familiar with each other, and it's not just from lacrosse. These are names that we've seen for 3 seasons now, going back to the winter and the fall, and we've seen them for several years. A lot of these girls have been playing at this level since they were freshmen on both sides. And, Rob, I watched New Canaan play against Ridgefield last week in the first half, and I thought it was the best game they've played all year. They kind of let off the gas a little bit in the second half, allowed the Tigers back into it. But when New Canaan is passing the rock, making multiple passes, it almost looks like the San Antonio Spurs offense right now, where everyone gets a touch and the defense can't keep up. That's where they'll be able to cause problems. That's where they'll be at their best. And if you're Darien, let your defense take over here.
A quick hello to A.J. Simonowski as well. A.J., good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Rob. Another day, another New Canaan Darien game of some kind. As Frank mentioned a couple weeks ago, it was the boys playing lacrosse. Now it's the girls. I think we should be for an equally good game.
And you were with me on the call for that Manhasset game, and the impression that we both walked away with was just how good Carly Shadell was.
Absolutely. In the last 3 minutes of regulation and then into both overtimes, she became almost a literal brick wall, stopping everything that was shot at her. I still wish they could have kept playing that one.
I agree, because the last goal in that game was scored with 3 minutes remaining in regulation. They went the final 6 minutes of that game, I believe 9 total to be exact. They went the final 9, no goal. Amazing, considering it was a 10-10 game.
Oh, and Shudell will be up to the challenge today. There are a lot of scores on this Rams offense, but if she gets into a groove early on, it could prove to be the difference in this one, and she can absolutely, I don't want to say steal this game, but take control and win it herself.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get it going. You've already met the starting lineup, so we just need to get this one going. It's Darien, it's New Canaan, a good old-fashioned rivalry. We come back to Darien High School right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
The HAN Network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN Network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County. We're just now pulling into their Stanford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back at Darien High School, the Blue Wave begin to make their way out into the field now. The white tops and bottoms with the blue block-style number on the back. And out they come, ready to go. The Rams, the black tops and bottoms, New Canaan on the front in white with a lower block-style number just below that, I should say, a smaller block-style number below it, outlined in white. The larger block-style number, red, outlined in white on the back. It says Darien on the front of the Darien jersey, as you might imagine, but you never know. Sometimes this is Blue Wave or Wave or, you know.
Blue Waves.
Oh, yeah, Blue Waves, famously, as USA Today did a few weeks ago for the big boys game. But out we go and ready for the opening face-off. Time to get it going from here at Darien High School. 12-1 versus 11-1-1, 8-0 versus 7-0.
Looks like Armstrong Campbell.
Campbell Armstrong will go up against Emma Jakes, and away we go. well, not so fast. And it'll be Rams ball. They go from left to right. Now we're underway.
It was a Wave player who stepped into the circle too early, so that was the infraction. That's why New Canaan takes over here, Rob.
Off to the near side it goes. Kylie Murphy. They'll swing it back around to Murphy. Murphy sends it off to the far side. Taking a look, Catherine Granito was set up top. She's got it. Starts to make her move in. Switches the hands. Little underhand toss now. Goes to Campbell Armstrong. Armstrong dancing inside, does not take the shot, just playing keep away, trying to get it away from Logan Book, nearly stolen away by the Blue Wave as we have 40 seconds gone by and no score. Swinging left they go, the Rams making the attack, trying to send it down low and it'll go back the other way. From right to left go the Blue Wave.
And that was Emma Lesko on the interception right there. Read the play beautifully, jumped the pass before Murphy could get rid of it, and now she's off the other way here.
And indeed, Lesko brings it across. Lesko trying to cycle through a double team, splits them, brings it over to Chandler Kirby. Kirby goes right. Setting up shop there is Katie Cronin. Cronin goes far side. Over there waiting is Kaylee Morrill, the senior. Morrill sends it back behind the cage. Where's Sky Vandenbroek awaits. Off to the near side for the dangerous Laura Murphy. Murphy sends it all the way back up top to Cronin. Cronin working in, trying to get around the Rams in a scoreless game with just about over 90 seconds gone by. In fact, in the opening frame, sent down, and the bouncer from Kirby will head back behind the net. Susie Rope will go back to grab it. No score, just about 2 gone by. Off the reset, they'll bring it over to the near side. Blue Wave on the attack with Laura Murphy. Murphy to Emma Jake, goes back up top. Working it there is Cronin. It was Kirby for a moment. Now back it comes. Off to Jake. Tries to dance inside, getting in close, but a whistle and the reset there.
So we'll see our first free position of the match, and it will be for Emma Jake, just 12 yards out, right in front of the cage.
Jakes makes her move and throws it home.
And she must have shown high. O'Day looked like she was anticipating high shot all the way. Goes down low through the 5-hole, and just like that off the free position, 1-0 in favor of the Wave.
And Rob, just like we saw a couple weeks ago against Manhasset, Darien is so deadly off of those free positions. Caroline O'Day is going to have to come up with a little bit better effort than that if she wants to stop the Wave from scoring off those plays.
And she just looked beat from the start right there, AJ. I mean, I don't know if Jake faked up high quickly, but the shot just was gone, and it looked like O'Day had not reacted.
1-0 the score. Had a quick visitor I wanted to say hello to and was happy to do so. That was actually the mother of Jenny Schrenker, our newest intern that I know Eric Gendron and I have gotten to know, along with AJ, over the past couple of days. She actually directed Nutmeg Sports today for a while. So she wanted to say a quick hello. It's a 1-0 game here, off to the near side. They'll work it back up top to Catherine Granito. Granito goes left. Rams on the attack. Down by 1, down close, and sent just wide.
And we've got another free position coming here. This time it will be for the Rams. Good movement on offense there from New Canaan. Looked like a very good opportunity. Shot was hindered and just went wide.
3 minutes gone by in the first half. Of course, it's running clock, so they'll reset off the free. There's the whistle, the approach, thrown, and thrown too high.
And, AJ, those are missed opportunities. You've got to capitalize on free positions, especially ones that come from the front of the net.
Definitely. You rarely are going to get much better look at the goal than that, and you got to come up with a better shot.
Back behind the cage it goes. That's Carly Shudell wearing number 32 in net. They go to the far side, try to work it around there. It's a 1-0 game. Working it back up top, sent down low. Good look. Can she get a shot off? She can! Tying it right back up. It's 1-1.
And the whole play started with Campbell Armstrong. She drew a double team up top, skip pass down low to the corner, and working from the left side of the cage, able to bury it. And that one right there, I believe, was Catherine Freiberg.
It looked like it.
Excuse me.
Oh, it was Braden Dial.
16, not 19, Braden Dial. But a great find by Armstrong. Good answer from the Rams, and we're knotted back up at 1.
And great presence of mind by Dial as she received the pass from Armstrong, was coming just a little bit too close to the circle, thought better of it, pulled herself out, and able to get the shot in.
So back they go for the face-off in a 1-1 game now, guys.
Katie Ramsey out for the face-off for Darien.
And indeed it was Katie Ramsey this time for the face-off, the sophomore. They will reset that face-off with Campbell Armstrong. Again, you notice watching boys versus girls lacrosse, it's a different face-off position that they use, and the girls, in this case, New Canaan, able to control it. So to the near side it goes, 15 yards out, working their way in, faking on the shot. It's the Rams on the attack. They scoop for it, and it's coming up with it. It's Granito to throw it on net, but the save made by Schudel.
Big save by Schudel. The Rams had an opportunity in front. It looked like it was Caitlin Hevesy on the doorstep who took the pass from Granito originally. Couldn't quite finish. Good job by the Rams staying with the ground ball. Better job by Schudel making the save.
She has to be known by Shu, though. Sent back out, 15 yards out. Kirby brings it over to Jake. Waiting patiently is Kirby. Kirby off to the near side, and awaiting that pass was Cronin. Cronin makes her move, dances around the defender, gets in close, went to fling it on net, but the whistle will stop before.
Whole lot of contact on the way into the net there. That's more of a boys level. Level is not the right word, but more of a boys play.
So off the free position, it will be Cronin 12 yards out. She awaits the whistle. Makes her approach, throws it home, 2-1.
And converting on your free positions, AJ. It's the easiest way to win these games.
Like I've been saying for now 2 games here at Darien High School, the Wave are so dangerous off those free positions. And credit to New Canaan, all 4 defensemen rushed the net as soon as the whistle blew. There was just nothing they could do to get in the way.
Now, and O'Day, again, just looked a little outmatched there, just a little late in reacting to the shot, as that one was opposite her stick hand. She could not get over in time.
It's a 2-1 game. As we come back out for the faceoff. 61 degrees as we get things started here, but the wind out of the southwest right around 10. As we mentioned, 61, wind at 10. Now the faceoff. High it goes, knocked around, and scooped right back up. 2-1 game, 19:45 to go in the first half. Thrown back toward midfield, stolen away by Jake. From right to left go the Wave in the home white. Getting down low is Cronin, and knocked around out in front. Trying to scoop it up there is O'Day. And it's taken right back by the Blue Wave, and a quick shot on net. Emma Jake puts it home.
And it was a broken play from the start. New Canaan had 1 possession off the draw, but an errant pass gave it right back to the Wave. Coming down immediately, we saw the bounce shot off the stick of Jake that hit the crossbar. O'Day was never able to find it all the way around the net as we take a look here. And it hit the crossbar there. No one able to really come up with it right away. And finally, from the other side, it was Morrill who found Jake in front, and she's able to finish.
So now 3-1 as the Blue Wave able to open up their first big lead of the afternoon. They'll take the 2-goal lead with 19:24 to go in the first half.
That's a new one on my book, hitting the crossbar off a bounce shot.
And stolen right back, and a good move by the Wave. They'll bring it down from right to left. Here's Murphy. Murphy takes a look, sends it back. Jake again. She'll bring it down the left side, stay inside the numbers. Now the reset. Kirby going off to Cronin. Cronin making the move. Cronin sandwiched, had it knocked away from her. Can the Rams come up with it? Initially they could. And they'll look to reset going from left to right. Looked like Mia Carroll back there. Very unusual to see her listed as Amelia, so I had to reset myself and say it's Mia.
And one of the matchups to watch, Rob, you've got Mia Carroll playing defense as we saw during the hockey season, but she'll be guarding Chandler Kirby, who was arguably the second best, if not the best defenseman in all of the FCIAC with her.
They'll bring it back out. Sammy Stewart waiting there. Stewart Army bound, West Point to be exact. Hopefully we wish her a great experience. It's so beautiful out there at West Point. If you've never been to any kind of event there, I can't recommend it enough. They'll take it into the football end zone with Stewart. Got to see hockey there one time and then finally got to a football game. Great experience. Off to the far side it goes. They'll set back up. 10 yards out. Moving around is Granito to throw it down and home. Got it past Shudell. Must have had a screen set for her. It's a 3-2 game.
And it looked like it was Kirby who was back on the defensive side, lost her footing on the original move. Granito saw the open space and worked that way and appeared to shoot around the Wave defender who was on the ground.
So that cuts it down to 1.
Ramsey and Armstrong once again.
And 17:46 remaining in the first half. New Canaan coming off a 13-12 win against Yorktown, New York. They beat the Huskers by 1 last Saturday. Armstrong had 5 goals with Sammy Stewart having a hat trick. Murphy and Bucci added a couple goals as well.
And that was a game the Rams had circled on their calendar since last season. They struggled against Yorktown, not playing a very good game, losing by 10. So they were really looking forward to the chance at avenging that loss and happy to come out on top.
For Darien, last Friday, they beat Longmeadow, Massachusetts 13-5. A long trip down here for Longmeadow to lose by 8. Of course, they come from up near Springfield. 15 yards out. Now they reset. Going off to that far side. That looked like Bucci for the Rams. 25 yards out. Here's Armstrong. Campbell Armstrong sends it down. Down close it goes, trying to do it herself. No, knocked around. And it gets away and goes back. Crowd likes that one. A 3-2 game, under 17 to go in the half.
Braden Dial again with a really close look at the net. And looked like she lost the handle as she got in close to make the shot.
Another try down low and scoring. So the Rams able to tie it right back up.
And a really strong take to the net there. As it looked like,
I'm going to say it was Carly Bucci.
I think it was too.
I thought so.
For the first time, I will complain about the New Canaan numbers, okay? Tough to read off the front, but Bucci working through the triple team from the right side of the cage, strong on her stick, able to maintain possession, and a good hard shot to the far side of the net. As we're back knotted up at 3 now.
1 minute after Granito scores, Bucci scores to tie the game right back up at 3.
Chandler Kirby facing off for Darien.
Chandler Kirby on the face-off for the Wave. And they'll say it will go in favor of the Wave, from right to left.
Kirby with a bit of an unorthodox positioning there. She was on the same side of the line as Campbell Armstrong.
And I think that's because they want to avoid a jump ball with Armstrong in the middle there, AJ. So her positioning forces it towards the rest of the players. Campbell, one of the taller girls in the FCIAC, which gives her a major advantage in the draw circle.
So the reset out of bounds. 3-3 the score now. 16:21 to go first half. Brought in by Logan Book for the Wave. From right to left they go. Emma Lesko making the move. She spins around, sends it across, finds Emma Jake. Jake staying inside the football numbers. There are some hash marks there that are more or less ghosted because you can just barely make them out. Off to the near side it goes. Send it back up top. That's Cronin. Cronin goes right, sends it over toward Kirby. Kirby far side, sends it right back out. A little spin around by Cronin. Plays it off to Jake. Again, off they go to Kirby. cycling around. Kirby gets it back off the pass from Rope. Trying to make her move is Cronin, and we'll get the free position here with 15:27 to go in the first half. So Cronin will take it from there. Cronin 14 yards out. Starts the move, throws it, and it goes home.
And AJ, a real smart play by Cronin, knowing she's far enough out where the Ram defenders have a chance to get back in the shooting lane. She takes one step and lets that one go upstairs.
And as you had
Absolute
said previous times, Frank, it looked like the Wave offense had kind of been going low on Carolyn O'Day, this time going high, and she's just not able to get a stick on it.
And although that's the fourth free position we've seen so far, what I really like right now is the refs are letting the girls play. There's a good rhythm and flow to the game. Obviously, any kind of issue inside the box or within the 20 yards in front of the cage, you've got to whistle down. But out in transition in the middle of the field, they're really letting them play right now, which is great.
Again, off the face-off, it was heading toward the Rams, and it will go that way, in fact. They'll take it from left to right. Now a 4-3 game. Darien on top by 1, under 15 to go in the first half. Initially for Armstrong, she had some open field to work with. She'll send it back behind the cage. Waiting back there is Bucci. Working it down low. Bouncer there, no. Stoned by Shudell. Off to the near side, and the whistle right before they step out. So waiting there will be Emma Lesko. Had the pleasure of chatting with a couple of the moms today. Nice to talk with some of the folks here at Darien High School as it bounces along the near side and picked right back up. They had a funny little quip for me. They were hanging the senior banners down below. Of course, getting closer to senior day, which will actually be tomorrow, but that game will be out on the field number 2 out in the oval. Scooped right back up and off to the far side. Along came Daphne Budd to make that play.
And the issue playing in the oval is they'd got the Jumbotron. They've been showing pictures of the girls for the entire game now on a nice slideshow here, so they'll introduce them tomorrow, but they wanted them to have a game, one more game at least, where they get the proper recognition.
I spied Dave Stewart on the field taking pictures, of course. New Canaan Advertiser, where he's the sports editor, and really the guru of the FCIAC as far as I'm concerned. Spinning off down low went Jake, and the whistle there, and I also just spied one Mr. Robert Trefone walking by, the head football coach here at Darien High School.
Standing behind us, taking a phone call. Probably a 30% chance it's Lou Marinelli.
Down it goes on net. Jakes gets a second try, but blocked away and deflected, turned around by the Rams. It's a 4-3 game right now as we come down under 13 to go in the first half. Granito sends it. Bouncer comes over near side, and the ground ball will roll out of bounds toward Kristen Woods and the New Canaan bench.
Good trap defense there from Darien. New Canaan, little lost in transition right around midfield, and that forces the turnovers. The Wave back the other way.
The junior Anna Stein started the play. Now Murphy thought she might have had a moment to get low and put it home, but instead backs it out. 4-3. 12:24 to go in the first half. Splitting defenders. Murphy alone. She puts it home.
Goal scored by Laura Murphy, number 15.
And AJ, that's just Murphy beating a defender, winning a race to the front of the net, and finishing. Superior player.
Fantastic individual effort by Laura Murphy, and as we saw against Manhasset, if she gets rolling, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do to stop her.
A 5-3 game now. I was hanging one of the broadcast banners, guys, and the moms down below, as I mentioned, they were hanging up the banners. They said to me, well, would you like a couple of, those clips that we can let you help hang the banner? I said, well, that's very nice. One of them said, we can't use the red ones. I figured you'd appreciate that.
What possible reason could there be?
And by the way, they were 100% serious. As you can only imagine, things red, not welcomed here. Things blue, not welcomed about 4 miles up the road. Off the face-off, it's New Canaan's ball. They, of course, the team decked out in black with red. And the whistle will stop things with 12:01 to go in the first half. Clock continues to run, but it stops the play.
And it's a free position awarded here off the shooting lane violation. So that shot bounced and sails high over the net. Darien Wave player getting in the lane of the potential Bucci shot, and that was where the free position came from.
Some clouds overhead here at Darien High School. We gave you the weather report a little while ago. Trying to send it down. Now it goes back behind the net. Good look down, but sent wide, trying to do it all in one motion. Unable to get anything on it. It looked like Kylie Murphy.
It was, and credit Kylie Murphy climbing the ladder to grab that one and fight through to get a shot. Earns herself the free position and another big opportunity for the Rams to cut the deficit in half.
And had she been able to get a better look at that pass, that would have been one of the better goals we've seen all season.
Just spying Caroline Shue, the freshman for New Canaan, playing catch with Brooke Dean, the sophomore, as this one gets put home, and New Canaan able to score to cut the deficit to 5-4.
And there was no doubt about it on that shot from Murphy. She came in with a full head of steam, hard bounce shot to the right side, able to cut it to 5-4.
We'll get a timeout, Darien.
A timeout taken indeed, so we will take a timeout as well. 5-4, Darien on top, 11:20 to go first half. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
I think what makes ONS special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. Back here in Darien, on the big board, they are showing the visitors here from New York, New York.
Really a great turnout from the Harlem Lacrosse League. Looks to be almost about 70 or 80 girls who have made the trek up to Fairfield County. AJ, we saw O'Day just a couple of minutes ago make her first 2 saves. What have you seen from both goaltenders so far?
Carly Shadell has been on her game. The shots that have gotten past her have really just been exemplary from New Canaan. Caroline O'Day hasn't had as good of a turn at it, but she's starting to get into a rhythm. I think she may pick it up from here on out.
And a big game for the freshman to be in net.
Definitely. I believe this is her first time facing the Wave.
It is,
Yep.
and you can only get better and learn from these experiences. And if playing baseball is one of the easiest jobs because you can go 3 for 10
Right.
and be really, really good, lacrosse, if you're a lacrosse goalie and you go 5 for 10, you're almost unbelievable.
That's very true. 5-4 the score off the timeout.
And Rob, it's Emma Jakes in on the faceoff now. This is the 3rd player we've seen the Wave use.
Shots, by the way, knotted at 8. Always one of the cool things I like about this scoreboard here at Darien. Off the draw, taken by the Rams. Kylie Murphy. Now they go to the far side. Carly Bucci goes back behind the cage. It's a 5-4 game. Those numbers do get a little hard to see as they're able to score.
And it was Bucci who made the cut. She just faked the defender out, quick jab step to the left, sprint down the lane on the right, took the pass in stride, buried it up top.
And a pinpoint pass it was from Catherine Granito.
The thing that concerns me is every time, if you're a Rams fan, Frank, every time the Rams are able to get back to even, it's like the Waves step it up a notch.
And it's very similar to what we saw in that boys game a couple weeks ago where the New Canaan boys get it to 1, and then all of a sudden Darien's like, oh, we need to score again. So this is a big draw right here as we've got Kirby and Armstrong back on it. If the Rams are able to come up with possession here, they want to take their time, set something up, give yourself a good look. As Rob, there was a ball just hammered in the baseball field behind the stadium.
Off the draw, as long as it didn't take out any windows, which can be a reality when you play on that baseball field. You got to watch where you park your car. That down kind of out of camera shot here to our right, and a whistle coming here with 10:42 to go in the first half. It's a 5-5 game.
We are tied at 5 with 10.5 to go in the first half.
Throw it up top to Kirby. Kirby, a little fake. Now she gets down low, making a move between defenders, went to throw the bouncer, and the whistle stops her just 5 yards out.
They'll say it was a stick in front of the face from behind. So the free position awarded to Darien.
Kirby makes the approach. Sends it down, lost by O'Day for a moment. She scoops it up and makes the save. Plays keep away back behind the cage, trying to get around Kaylee Morrill, and swings it to her left. So we stay knotted at 5 and under 10 to go in the first half.
And AJ, O'Day looked all over that shot from the moment it left Kirby's stick.
And that's exactly what you want to see from a young goalkeeper. Off a rough start, she's gotten her composure together. Looks to be in control.
To the near side, Sammy Stewart. And yeah, you would think the composure and the confidence off that has to help Caroline O'Day.
It's the third save she's made in the game, and that is now her first stop on a free position attempt.
Stewart makes the approach, tied at 5, gets down close, sending it bouncer off to the side of the net.
It was Armstrong in front. Her first shot attempt of the game. First time she got a good look. She has Chandler Kirby all over her today on the defensive end.
Trying to find a cutting Bucci down low. But they'll stop it right there. 9:03 to go first half. Tied at 5. Now it's the Waves' turn as they go from right to left. And yes, I said wave, not waves. With the ball rolling away, Cronin scoops it up. Cronin heading down. Cronin inside the numbers. Sends it to Morrill. Kaylee Morrill will fling it 20 yards back out. Kirby waits there. Kirby looks, goes to her right, down the sideline. Back behind the cage it goes, Vandenbroek. Near side Murphy. Laura Murphy sends it back 20 yards out. Lesko goes right to Kirby. Just working their way almost around in a diamond. Now back up top it goes for Kirby, who is nearly alone, throws it, and gets it past O'Day, 6'5".
And they set up the isolation play up top. Kirby draws the lone defender. They had the wave of players off to the left side of the net, waiting for cutters if Kirby can't get through. Beats her man to the left. Shot down low where O'Day made the save on the free position, and it's a Wave lead again at 1.
And Frank, I think despite letting that one in, Caroline O'Day is still in good shape. That was a perfectly placed shot from Chandler Kirby. Nobody's going to stop that one.
No, that was a really good shot, and it had a little bit of velocity on it too. She took it from far out, but it was in the right spot, and it comes out so quick, AJ. They beat the defender, and you don't expect it to happen so fast.
And again, we've talked about before, and obviously players deal with it, but that ball hurts. Let's be honest.
You are a brave human being if you choose to stand between those pipes in the triangle net.
I agree. So off the reset, it's the Rams. Down goes Bucci. Bucci swings left. Armstrong backs it out. We're down to 7:55 to go in the first half of a 6-5 Darien lead on top of New Canaan. Stewart back behind the net, goes around to the far side. They'll play it back out. 15 yards out. Trying to make a move, coming over to the near side, Stewart. Stewart backs it out again. Armstrong there. Armstrong between a double team, had it knocked away from her, but the whistle getting ready for the free position.
Free position, Armstrong.
Breeze kicks up, makes things a little chillier here in Darien. The approach, the bouncer, and scoring.
Armstrong scores.
So Armstrong ties it right back up.
It's her first of the game, and you see right there, AJ, the advantage that her height plays. Couple checks coming in, but she's able to keep that stick up high, fight through that check, and bury it in the top right corner.
Definitely, Frank. If you keep the ball above the heads of everyone around you, they're not going to get a very good look at knocking it away.
So again, knotted up. We've been tied at 1-1, 3-3, 5-5, and now 6-6. So the fourth tie of the afternoon. But each time the Rams have come back and tied it up, the Blue Wave have responded. Can the Rams break that pattern? A lot of swinging going on here toward the ball. It's loose, back around. Rams trying to control it, and finally they do. So they'll go off to the far side. Ellery Barron making the play. Goes to that far side, gets it across in a 6-6 game. 6:53 to go in the first half. And down the left side, now setting it up. Getting through. On net, hit the crossbar. How you doing from Carly Bucci, and back out it goes. Down goes Stewart. Goes to her right, and a whistle. A long look at the official who's making her call. Cronin backs out. The ball gets rolled out 15 yards for the free position there.
It looks like the Wave were offside. Cronin was the extra player back over the attack zone line.
So down goes, looks like Armstrong to score it.
And we saw it right again there, AJ. The long stride, get the stick up high. No one able to check her. Back-to-back goals, and the Rams with their first lead of the day.
And it must be said, Frank, we have to give Sammy Stewart some credit for collecting the ricochet off the Bucci shot, came right off the crossbar and landed essentially right in her stick. I don't know if she intended to be there or it was just right place, right time.
And it had a little distance on it, too. It came out around the 25-yard line, but you're right. Great job by Stewart to control it. Keeps that possession going. You earn the free position and take the lead for the first time today.
Cronin and Armstrong for the face-off. Now a 7-6 New Canaan lead. Two of the absolute best in the state, certainly in the FCIAC. A long time to get things squared away there and off the face-off. It was not, correction, it was Bucci on the face-off for New Canaan. Armstrong's got it.
And I'm wondering if that's a set face-off play where Bucci wins it back like so, as Armstrong was coming through all full go.
And take advantage of Armstrong's height for sure. Down the right side, backing things out, slowing it down there. Bucci does play handoff, gets it over to Armstrong. It's a 7-6 lead for New Canaan right now with under 6 to go in the first half. Working down. Nice on net, but Shudell strong.
And this is what the Rams need to keep doing. Have that motion on offense. Make those passes to the cutting player to the front of the cage. But credit Shudell, who is keeping the Wave in it right now.
However, the free position favors the Rams. Murphy starts to make the approach from 12 yards out. Murphy throws it and scores.
Kylie Murphy scores for New Canaan.
So Kylie Murphy gives the Rams their first 2-goal lead of the afternoon. It's 8-6.
3 unanswered goals. And AJ, that's the first time we have seen a Ram player go high to the stick side on the left side of the net against Shudell.
Though Campbell Armstrong has had some success up there on the previous 2.
As this broadcast brought to you by the Hospital for Special Surgery Outpatient Center in Stamford. When the world comes to get back into the game. Where the world comes to get back into the game. It's an 8-6 game right now. Back for the face-off. 8-6 the score. The face-off handled by Cronin. And Cronin able to get the win as she batted it around to herself. She goes down the left side. Splits defenders, nearly tripped, thinks against the shot and won't need to take it. The whistle will set things up right there with 4:52 to go in the first half.
Really great effort there from Cronin, winning the draw herself, showing off the speed, working all the way down the numbers on the left side of the field. And sets herself up with a free position now, 14 yards out.
Cronin thought against the shot, and the bouncer just wide by Anna Stein, the junior.
And what a selfless play. Smart, quick pass, and the junior Stein just unable to put it on cage from about 3 yards out on the left side.
Shots 14-11 in favor of the Rams right now. And right now on the scoreboard, the Rams are up 2.
Selfless, yes, Frank, but Anna Stein was wide open.
Behind the net with Susie Rope. Goes off to the far side, goes back behind the cage, swings around back there. Ellery Barron on her. Making the approach now comes Stein. Stein to Kirby. Kirby, close, too close. It's 8-7.
Kirby scores for Darien. Assist Susie Rock.
Strong move to the front of the cage by Kirby. Once she gets the step on the defender, O'Day finds herself in no man's land. Kirby is on the doorstep. She's unsure if she should step out or stay back and try to guess where the shot is going. And the Wave are able to trim it back down to 1.
Well, it looked like a breakdown of the New Canaan defense there with an offensive player like Chandler Kirby. You can't leave her undefended, and she essentially was.
4:06 to go first half. And once again, almost able to play it to herself was Cronin. However, a big hit out on the field. Down to the turf went Daphne Budd. Budd fine. She climbed right back up.
She ran in, or Carly Bucci ran into Budd. It was almost a hockey check right there.
On the left side they go. Of course, many of these girls do play hockey, but body checking not allowed in girls ice hockey. Back behind the net, off to the near side. Up top, Sammy Stewart makes her move. Stewart nearly went home, but 2 defenders closed quickly, Logan Book being one of them for the Blue Wave. So they'll play it into the football end zone back there. Send it back behind the cage, come off to the near side. We're down to 3:20 to go in the first half of an 8-7 game. Sammy Stewart just inside the numbers. Sends it all the way across from Armstrong. Resetting behind the cage. Very deliberate right now, off to the near side. Murphy starts to make a move. They'll play catch again, send it down low, trying to make a connection down there, and the whistle comes right here. In an 8-7 game, 2:49 to go first half.
And that's a tough turnover. You've done a good job on that possession. You're eating up clock. You're working it around. Everyone's getting touches. Finally, you make a pass to the middle and credit the defense of the Blue Wave to interfere with that pass and come up with the ground ball and now take possession.
Cronin doing it herself, yard after yard. It's Cronin who stops, waits, sends it right, sends it down now. Backing out, though. They will bring it all the way out to Kirby and slow things down. I think if Cronin had a shot, she was going to take it. Otherwise, they have reset. They'll go far side all the way around. Send it back behind the net. Played back there by Stein. Stein with the pass instead of the shot. Kirby going for the shot, sent it wide.
And the offense is running through Kirby right now. You can see her teammates trying to find her up top. Let her work against Bucci, who she's isolated against right now.
Again, behind the cage. 1:49 to go first half. Working in Stein. Stein through a double team, sends it back. It'll go behind the cage. Working it around now. Down it goes, and just missing. It stays at 8-7. She puts it home.
Good move there. We saw the patience. It was Susan Rope working to her left, trying to get to the front net. Comes back right. Does it 2 more times before finally able to shake her defender and tucks that one in above the stick of O'Day.
So with just 94 seconds remaining in the first half, again, we are tied up. 5th tie of the afternoon. And they'll bring it back out for the faceoff. Cronin against Bucci. Waiting for the face-off. A long wait this time. Knocked around and taken by the Wave. It was a good job by Emma Lesko to be set up in the right position and get it to Kirby from right to left. Kirby getting too close. Around defenders, Kirby herself. She goes to the right. And they'll stop things right there with 1:17 to go in the first half of an 8-8 game.
And it's smart not to force that shot by Kirby. You now earn yourselves the free position. Darien still with one timeout on the board here if they want to use it with 1:10. You want to go into halftime, ideally right now, with at least a 1-goal lead. Worst case scenario, you stay tied at 8.
And working the passing instead of going for the quick shot. And again, they'll stop things right there. 1:02 to go in the half. So it'll be Laura Murphy out of the free position. Looks like they'll line her up 11 yards out. Work her just toward the far side. Starts her approach, she'll take the shot and throws it in.
Goal, Laura Murphy. Darien up by 1.
Laura Murphy gets her second. It's a 9-8 game.
And a couple of 3-goal runs here from both teams. We saw New Canaan down 1, go up to 2, and now Darien from down 2 gets themselves up on top by 1. They led for almost all of the first half with the exception of a 3-minute gap right there. And now with a minute to go, they're back on top.
A big face-off here just in terms of going into the locker room with a lead or tied. And, of course, plenty of time. With just under 1 to go in the half, you can get 2 goals that quickly.
Especially with the way the clock works now. Under 2 minutes, it will stop on every whistle. You could play a minute essentially in 3 or 4 with potentially what could happen here. But I agree. If you're New Canaan, you want to win this draw. Even if you don't score, don't give Darien another opportunity to continue to build on this momentum.
And that did not quite work out as it was initially controlled by Cronin. And Cronin will send it. Get it across. Down the right side they go. Down to 49 to go in the first half. Kirby, 21 yards out. Starting to move around off to the far side. Here's Kirby again, down to 35. Kirby makes her move. Getting down close, goes top shelf and scores. So now a 10-8 lead for the Wave. And still time for one more face-off.
3rd goal so far of the match for Kirby. Another strong play from the senior, the future Michigan Wolverine.
You can call it a hat trick, and they do, of course, in lacrosse, but if you were really to follow the tradition of throwing hats following every hat trick in lacrosse, you wouldn't have hats.
You'd have to go back and get it. You'd have to do it several times for some of these games.
Yeah, I don't think they'd let you retrieve it either. That's why I never wear hats to a hockey game. Half minute remaining in this first half. 10-8 the score.
Interesting that Coach Woods chose to keep both of her timeouts through the whole half. There's still a chance that they win this draw here. She'll use one. But especially when it was tied at 8, you would have thought maybe try to slow things down here. Talk to O'Day, sort of bring her back up to speed as she had gone cold here over the past few minutes.
I agree, because so often the timeout isn't necessarily about setting a play. This down close to Granito, 1-on-1, scores!
Goal, New Canaan. Catherine Granito, number 2 on a breakaway.
And as good as the move was on the breakaway, it was Kylie Stewart from the left wing who made the pass up ahead off the face-off, found Granito in all alone, and Schudel really never had a chance on that one, AJ.
Not at all. When you've got a player like Catherine Granito soloed up against you with no help, there's not a lot you can do on this field, on the hockey field, or on the field hockey field.
Shots even at 15. The point I was just quickly trying to make was that, sometimes you're taking a timeout just to change momentum more than you are setting a play.
Yes, exactly. Just slow things down. You've given up a couple goals here. Let's get back to what we were doing and not allow them to keep just rolling.
Crowd starting to count down to the end of the first half. We're down to 3, 2, and 1 as we're out toward midfield, and the first half comes to an end. Darien will take the lead into the locker room or off to the sideline at 10-9. But the Rams, I thought, able to kind of fix a thing or two with that breakaway by Granito to cut it to 10-9.
And even without the breakaway there at the end, you never really felt that one team was playing that much better than the other. Both teams had runs. When they had possession, they looked good. They both had possessions on defense where they played well. And I thought both goalies made saves when they needed to make saves.
We will get ready to pause here. Rest of the crew on hand. Marty Hersom, JB Cousins, Dave Stewart, Steve Buno, Eric Gendron directing, along with AJ Simonowski, Frank Granito, and myself. A 10-9 game, the Darien Blue Wave, up 1 at halftime. We'll pause and come back for the second half. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network. It was a great game, but it got messy at the end. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, speaking of messy, here's a story about how Triple S cleaned up a big problem for the HAN network. Eric, let's roll that footage.
The HAN network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County, we're just now pulling into their Stanford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000. A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guaranteed. That's what Mosquito Squad guarantees as America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad, using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
Want to learn how sponsored content can help your business? Let the HAN Network help. First of all, what is sponsored content? Well, it's a story, video, or other content compelling enough for folks to want to read it, view it, or interact with it, and it's sponsored by a business. We create this kind of content for clients all the time. We build an interesting story or video that carefully weaves your business's brand into the narrative. It might be a story about how the condominium law in New York State makes property taxes on condos much lower than in Connecticut. The sponsor is a condo developer in Westchester, New York. Or a video explaining the European roots of a cafe and yoga studio in Wilton. Or talking about the history of a brand, product, or store while showing its modern-day incarnation. Or even a poll that asks readers to answer a question that leads them to your brand. Let the HAN Network Content Studio build a story around your business.
Back in Darien, along with A.J. Simonowski and Frank Granito, I'm Rob Adams, and this portion of High School Girls Lacrosse on the HAN Network is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery Outpatient Center in Stamford, where the world comes to get back into the game. 10-9, our halftime score. Might need a second sheet today, Frank.
Yeah. AJ, did you bring a couple extra ones for us?
Guys, I did not. I personally think I'm going to switch over into the assists column is going to become score column number 2.
I've been keeping track of the assists, though there are not many to.
It's getting tough on mine. I know we're showing them to each other off camera, but nonetheless, a 10-9 score. Jake, Dial, Cronin, Jake again, Granito, Bucci, Cronin, Murphy, Bucci, Kirby, Campbell Armstrong, not once but two, count them, 2 goals. Kylie Murphy, Kirby, Rop, Murphy, Kirby, Granito. Those are the 19 goals of the first half.
Does this qualify as a barn burner?
Yes.
It does, actually.
Yes, it
Definitely does. But again, I said at the end of the first half, I think both teams have played very well. This is a great game. These are two of the better teams, and they are playing up to their full potential. There are a couple mistakes they would both like to fix right now, but ultimately they've got to be happy with where they are as we get set for the final 25 minutes here.
I think if you're New Canaan, you're a little bit happier at the score than you would be if you were Darien. Darien, since they lost a couple of weeks ago to Garden City, have been outscoring opponents nearly 3-1. So that the game to only be a 1-goal deficit at halftime is a big plus for the Rams.
And the only game that they didn't have like that was the 10-10 tie against Manhasset. And they had to expect coming into today's game it would be a tight one. It's a rivalry game. But if O'Day can hold her own right now, New Canaan's got a very good chance, but if Schudel is going to continue to play as well as she has, AJ, I'll take the Wave.
Second half underway in a 10-9 game. Down the left side they go, with Darien now moving from left to right. We'll send it back behind the cage and reset there. Laura Murphy. Murphy playing catch, trying to get a screen set for her. Spinning around is Rop over. It comes to the near side, and a whistle, a kick there, stops things.
And it looked like Mia Carroll got tangled up there with Susan Rop. So the free position awarded.
Works it back out, lost it. They'll all scoop for it there, and it's the Wave coming away with it, or rather the Rams coming away with it, Campbell Armstrong going from right to left. Brings it left, an errant pass. Can it be grabbed by the Rams? It cannot. Taken away by Katie Cronin. But again, a little sloppy here. A couple of turnovers and taken right back by Kylie Murphy. Murphy flings it all the way across. Armstrong makes a move as she gets down. Sends it along, going right down on net, looking for the wide open net, couldn't find it. So they'll slow it all the way down again, bring it over to the near side. And it'll be Sammy Stewart.
That was Braden Dial who went to the front of the net with that ball originally, and I cannot believe she was able to come out of there still with possession.
Again, behind the cage, out of the football end zone to the near side. A few yards out, Bucci. Carly Bucci making her move. She has a couple today. Takes a look to her right, thinks better, splits defenders, lost the handle on it, nearly scooped up by the Wave, and the whistle turns it over. It will be Wave ball.
Annie Wright.
So Daphne Budd brings it near side, along to Ropp. Speaking of the last name Budd, we chatted with Mac Budd, the Darien boys hockey coach, for a few minutes. Really a super nice guy, and of course, what a great year they had.
Unbelievable season, that winning their second state championship in a row. They broke the streak last year as the first FCIAC team to win one since 1998. A Division I one since I think it was 1972.
And to be even more exact, the first Wave team to win a state title since 1969.
But like you said, Rob, an absolutely great guy and has always made his players available, more than willing to work with us. A true friend of the HAN network.
Yeah, had very nice words for a lot of the crew here, so nice to see him for a few minutes. Back out it goes as we continue on with Cronin. It's a 10-9 Darien lead. Don't get comfortable, but we've actually gone 3 and change without a goal.
And there you've just jinxed it, Rob.
Any second now, AJ. Playing catch back behind the cage. Turning around to the far side. Wind picks up a little bit here. Kind of gusts right around 15 to 20. And again, a whistle, and they'll stop it right there. 21-25 to go. Second half, a 10-9 game.
Anna Stein, free position.
Anna Stein for the free position. From just about 9 yards out, makes the approach, brings it in, and scores.
Goal, Darien.
And it looked like O'Day anticipated she was going low. The shot just a little too quick. Stein is the first one to break through here, scoring in the second half. And you really might have jinxed it.
Yep. Of course, I don't buy into such things. 11-9 the score. Back out to center it goes. Getting ready for the face-off once again. Stepping in will be Cronin for the Blue Wave. Darien in white, New Canaan in the black.
AJ, the Wave is now 5 of 7 on free position attempts today.
When you get looks like that, you have to convert them, and the Wave have been doing it so far.
Carly Bucci will go for the face-off for the Rams. It's an 11-9 game with just about 21 minutes to go in this one. Tipped around and controlled by the Rams. Not to say every face-off is big right now, but it is a 2-goal game. You want to kind of stop the tide if you can, as a little bit of a push occurring 30 yards out of the net.
And Bucci started and finished that play right there, winning draw. But the most impressive part of all of it, after winning the draw and splitting the double team, she took the time to adjust the goggles.
Got to be able to see where you're going, Frank.
Again, they'll reset. The boys' Blue Wave team walking right below our setup here, our perch. Chris Manfredonia, the AD here, always kind to us. Back out it comes, and controlled by Sammy Stewart. 11-9 the score, just about 20 minutes remaining in this one. Kylie Murphy. Murphy makes the approach, gets 10 yards out, spins back out, goes to her left, brings it over near side, sends it along. That was Gianna Bruno, the sophomore. Again, off to the far side. Standing there is Carly Bucci. Bucci starts a move 10 yards out, sends it down low, works it back behind the net from Kylie Murphy. Played back there, making a move, spinning around. Off to the near side comes Catherine Granito. Sends a quick pass, good look to Murphy. However, she drops down for a moment, so the free position will come up here. Shot 16-15 in favor of the Wave and 19.5 to go. Coming out of the free position will be the senior, Kylie Murphy. Makes the approach and throws it up over the net. With Lisa Lindley dancing down the sideline, well away from the rest of her bench.
And Darien is going to be ruled closest to that shot when it went out of bounds. They'll take over possession. Great play from the defense there as Coach Lindley.
She gets into it.
Still ecstatic.
Coaches get excited. I mean, you do some coaching. You've got to be excitable.
It's for another time. I was not heard on the broadcast during the Turkey Bowl.
Are you trying to tell me you were actually heard on the broadcast? Yeah, you might have been. Here come the Blue Wave from left to right. Kirby, far side. Setting up shop over there. Anna Stein's had a very good game. Of course, keep that in mind because we have to nominate HAN Network FCIAC Athletes of the Week. Voting on right now for last week's Athletes of the Week. A male and a female, which you can go vote for at HAN.network. But with Dave Stewart here today, always a good reminder that we have to make some nominations coming up this weekend. And then thrown down and scoring is Chandler Kirby.
Number 4 for Chandler.
And Kirby worked those last 10 yards right there with a defender on her hip, just driving through. Too strong to be stopped. Her 4th of the day, buries it in the hip pocket on the left side of O'Day.
First 3-goal lead of the afternoon, and it comes now in a 12-9 game with 18:07 remaining in this one. We'll take a timeout and return to Darien High School right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
Do you need help reaching or maintaining your fitness goals? For over 20 years, Mike Pernice has tailored his time and expertise to clients on both coasts whose schedules demand flexibility and accountability. Mike is a certified lifestyle manager and has been called upon to help his clients eliminate negative behaviors such as coping with stress, improving their time management, setting realistic life goals, and cutting down compulsive behavior. If you're ready to start working toward a more energetic, productive, and healthier you, call Mike Pernice. This game on the HAN Network brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery Outpatient Center in Stamford, where the world comes to get back in the game. Rob Adams, Frank Granito, A.J. Simonowski, Eric Gendron directing. 18:07 to go second half. Shots 20-18 in favor of the New Canaan Rams. However, on the scoreboard, the one that matters is Darien 12, New Canaan 9.
And we're seeing the difference now of the experience in both goals. O'Day struggling a little bit. Again, the first time she's been in a game like this where you really have to make adjustments at halftime and understand how the game is going to change. Schudel on the other end has been perfect to start the second half, and she was tremendous with 5 saves of her own in the first.
You know, Lisa Lindley, in talking about the 13-5 victory over Longmeadow, Massachusetts last Friday, said it was a sloppy game but thought her team had a better second half. And right now they're off to a good start as they have scored a couple in a row to take a 12-9 lead.
And that's contrary to what we were saying about New Canaan when they played Ridgefield last week on their senior night, where they dominated the first half but really struggled to finish them off in the second.
Kirby making a move, but thinks against the shot. Instead goes for the pass to Cronin. Cronin along to Emma Lesko. Lesko behind the cage as it bounces over near side. Coach Lindley had high praise for Emma Lesko, saying She's smart and playing strong at both ends.
You could say that for several of these Wave players today.
I agree. 17-17 to go, second half, a 12-9 game. From the free position, Laura Murphy, the approach, the shot, and the goal. Now a 4-goal lead. It's 13-9.
And the free position's really starting to hurt New Canaan AJ.
Caroline O'Day just doesn't seem to be able to know what to do, or the Wave have figured out something that she's giving away, a weakness in her coverage, a shot that she is just unable to catch up to, whatever it is. The Wave are getting the better of those possessions right now.
And O'Day still in net. Frank, we thought that maybe Kristen Woods would make a goalie change at halftime, as they have done at times throughout the season.
We've seen it several times. Cameron Blair has also played, Sarah Street has also played in goal for the Rams. They split games early on in the season, one playing the first half, the other the second. O'Day has been the better goalie of late, and I think Woods is really going to try to ride the freshman out and start to build her confidence and experience up as we get closer to the playoffs.
So now a 13-9 score. Reset on the face-off. Looks like Sammy Stewart on for the Rams to take the face-off, and I believe still it's Cronin for the Wave. And it was. With all that said and done,
That's Samantha Stewart facing off for.
Let's do it all over again. Maybe third time will be the charm as the Sun tries to make another approach here on Darien. One more time on that face-off, popped high, and bouncing along, it will go toward the Blue Wave.
And for as much of a flowing game we had in the first half, things really slowing down here a little bit in the second.
Lesko initially broke through the double team. However, the official says not so fast, so stop right there, and we'll do it all over again. Again, off the reset, along to Cronin. Katie Cronin's been a presence today for sure, had it knocked away from her. And it's loose and bounces back a few yards. Again, regarding that Athlete of the Week, I'm one of the people on the kind of nominating committee, so I consider the thoughts of my colleagues. So if you both have some thoughts as we move throughout the week.
Well, from what we've seen today, I agree. Obviously, Chandler Kirby on the score sheet right now is putting up big numbers, but you just made a great point. Katie Cronin has been everywhere all over the field. We saw her step into the face-off circle. She's been dominant there. Sometimes it's the silent stats that speak volumes.
However, Chandler Kirby's been absolutely brilliant as well. She scores. Now it's a 5-goal lead for the Blue Wave.
And when you score your 5th goal in a rivalry game, you probably deserve a little bit of recognition. Kirby has just been too much today for the Rams defense. In both halves, free position or just on the regular possession, they have isolated her, let her go to work as the Wave starting off the second half on a 4-0 run right now.
Once again, Cronin and Stewart.
And a 14-9 lead now. The question becomes, when does it get out of hand?
And guys, just glancing at my score sheet here, the last 9 goals overall, it's been 8-1 Darien. The Wave have come up big time.
Maybe New Canaan was better off playing from 1 goal down and letting Darien score.
Far side it goes. Back behind the cage. A 14-9 game now. Darien up 5 with the largest lead of the afternoon. As we haven't quite jumped into the evening hours yet, but Kirby again having a monster game. 15-9 now.
Eric's got to throw his hat twice now. That's the double hat trick.
And it comes with 15-22 to go
Assist on the play,
in
number
the
11,
second
Katie
half.
Cronin.
Katie Cronin gets the assist. Kirby having a monster
Timeout on the
game.
field.
Eric Gendron will have to throw his Red Sox cap. We'll take a break. 15-9 the score. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
15-9, 15:22 to go in the second half. New Canaan has now used up their timeouts. I mean, you got to stop the bleeding right now.
Raining on a sunny day is very appropriate right now for the New Canaan Rams because that is what it feels like. They can just not stop the bleeding as the Wave have gone full court press here and opened up the floodgates on offense.
Stewart will take the face-off for New Canaan. And for the Rams, it really starts with a face-off win.
And something else to keep an eye on, that is the second and final timeout for the Rams this half. So they will be without one should they get into a situation late if they're able to cut into this lead.
And so much for the face-off win as it comes down the near side, controlled by Kaylee Morrill. Morrill sends it back behind the cage. Down to 15 remaining in the second half. 20 yards back out. Off to the right side they go. Sky Vandenbroek. She sends across. Plays catch with Laura Murphy. Kirby. Again, far side Cronin. Trying to find Kirby, but fortuitous was Vandenbroek to grab it away.
How did she catch that ball?
Right place, right time. Off the free position to the near side, right along the goal line. Sends it back behind. Off to Anna Stein. Out all the way, it comes up top for Cronin. 14:20 to go, second half, 15-9. Darien up 6 right now as Murphy sends it to Cronin. Cronin moves in, 10 yards out. Spins around. Looks, gets to Kirby. Kirby, who's just been fantastic today. She goes left. Back to Cronin. Kirby wide open on the near wing. She starts to move in. There she is, got it, and just missed it. Again, Stein from behind the net. She gets through, throws it down, top shelf, and scores.
Anna Stein, number 16.
It looked like it might have been deflected off of either O'Day or a Ram defender's stick. But you go back to the start of that play. Kirby runs the screen and fade right to the middle of the slot. No one picks her up. Couldn't put the original shot on target, but a good job stopping it behind the net. As I believe that was Rope. And ultimately it makes its way to Lesko, who's able to finish.
16-9, 13:43 to go. This one somewhat out of hand at a 7-goal difference, but again, you can score quickly. And there's a good start for the Rams as they send it down the right side with Ellery Barron. She turns around, 2 on her, sends it back toward Kylie Murphy, and a whistle will set things up right there. Counting is the official, making sure that everyone is across where they should be.
And an unfortunate break there. Careless mistake from the Rams as they go offside. Finally able to win a draw, but it's turned back over now.
Nearly stolen away by the Rams initially as Ojimek almost grabbed it. but sent right down. Looking close on net, all alone, yes. Kaylee Morrill joins the party, and it's a 17-9 game.
And a great job there from the Wave out in transition, executing the ball movement beautifully. Better finish by Morrill.
Beautiful pass from Chandler Kirby.
And the lead is up to 8. And while you could argue, Rob, this game is not out of hand because, yes, there's a lot of time left, and look how fast Darien has scored. It is fair to say that the second half is out of hand.
And a dominant performance right now by the Blue Wave.
That was Laura Murphy who had the assist right there on the Morale goal.
And by my count, a 7-0 run for the Blue Wave.
I'll back up that count, Rob.
Thank you, sir. They'll turn the ball the other way.
I do believe it is a 10-1 run, AJ. Now.
Here come the Rams, needing goals. To the near side they go, 20 yards out. Send it off to the right, Sammy Stewart. Losing the handle on it was Murphy. And that'll just bounce off to the far side.
Check that, Frank. That is an 11-1 run for Darien.
Impressive for sure. The Blue Wave came into the game at 11-1-1 with both their tie and their loss to teams from New York. We saw the 10-10 tie against Manhasset not too long ago. Cronin sends down a fake and just spun away as Morrill was all alone. Again, Kirby looking for more. Kirby then thinks better of it, goes to Morrill back behind the cage. And a few yards deep in the football end zone. She will slow up there, start to make the approach, staying inside, now works it off to Kirby. Kirby goes far side. 17-9 the score and 11.5 to go. Far side, played by Emma Lesko, brings it over to the near to Chandler Kirby. Kirby all the way outside the football numbers to Morrill. Making the move. Ropp started in, sends 10 yards out and a whistle before the shot. A nice comfortable afternoon here and a free position for Chandler Kirby. Went against the shot, went right, and goes behind the cage. So back there is Anna Stein. Not as warm as it was yesterday, 61 degrees when we started. We had an absolutely beautiful night last night at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Missed you last night.
Very upset I couldn't make it.
It was a good time. Down it goes and over the crossbar tomorrow with Fairfield Ludlow falling to Fairfield Ward last night in a really good game. I enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to the baseball postseason when we get there for the conference semifinals and finals, and I'm very excited to be a part of it.
Bouncing down. Oh, hit off the side of the cage. And it'll go back behind. Trying to play keep away is O'Day.
O'Day just got enough of that one to change direction, and finally a bounce goes her way as that one slowly trickles off the left post.
Mia Carroll trying to split defenders. She's able to get through traffic, sends it down the side. Working her way down is Gianna Bruno, the sophomore. 17-9 and under 10 to go. As the PA announcer echoes. Sent 15 yards back out. Sammy Stewart. Stewart with a hop step moves around defenders. Time not on the side of the Rams in an 8-goal game as they bring it near side again to Bucci. Bucci sends it back out. The quick cut down low. And the loose ball there, fighting for it, and they'll stop it right there. 9:21 to go, 17-9 Darien.
Finally an offensive chance here as the Rams draw a free position. Gianna Bruno will take the attempt.
Waiting on the whistle, gets it, throws it, gets stoned by Schudel. And they'll turn it right back around. So in transition, here come the Wave. And across the line, Murphy. Murphy working her way down, has Morrill right down near the net. Couldn't quite make the connection, but they'll scoop it right back up, so the Wave hold on to it. Near side, Kirby. Kirby inside the numbers. They'll slow it down again with Lesko.
And that was Barron and Murphy who collided over on the left side at the start of this possession.
Here's Kirby again. Had it blocked by O'Day. Almost rolled across the line. Now she has to get it around to the near side and does.
No one happier than O'Day that they do not have access to our video review.
To the far end they go, unable to handle it. Now they scoop it up. Rams trying to get a possession going here. They'll get it once again and reset back there. Toss it all the way back to O'Day and the freshman to the near side. Working along in transition, the Rams with Granito going from right to left. Catherine wearing number 2, splits between the numbers, goes to the far side numbers, and right down that line, setting up shop again. Campbell Armstrong goes left. Working her way in is Bucci. Out it goes. Trying to get down close is Braden Dial. But they'll play very tentative here with 7.5 to go. Getting down close again, stopped by Shudell.
7.5 remaining.
And thrown back near midfield. They'll bring it across the line with Murphy. Laura Murphy, the junior. A note from Mike Suppy, by the way, baseball going on here at Darien High School. St. Joe's and Darien. The Cadets loaded the bases, according to Mike, with no outs, but Richard Brereton skirts danger. 1-0 Wave, bottom of the 6th. Richard Brereton will be on Nutmeg Sports next Monday. The Blue Wave having a very good baseball season, but again, there is no clear-cut favorite right now in baseball, which is just going to make that so much fun.
So much more fun, exactly.
I'm not sure too many people expected to see Wilton break through and win that title last year. Really one of the more fun experiences we've all had. Great move here by Emma Jakes. Sends it down the right side. Gets flung across, and Jakes gets it back. Jakes to the near side. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, I was going to say, Rob, if I were the Rams here, you might want to really start to think about double teaming earlier on. You've got to try to get possessions back in your own hands. You're down to 6 minutes and 15 seconds now, and you've been stoned the last few times down on the offensive end.
And Ropp missing there. Off the reset, it goes to Cronin. Cronin will bring it back out. Last New Canaan goal, you ask? They are 0 for the second half. With 21 seconds to go in the first half, Catherine Granito scored, and it has been all Darien ever since. Bouncing to the near side, Ropp there in the football end zone. She makes her move, gets 10 yards along, feeds it along, and right on net to throw it in, Haley Morrill.
Katie Morrill with the goal.
The hemorrhaging continues for New Canaan.
2 in a row for Morrill, and now an 18-9 Darien lead with 5:41 to go.
They've been the better team this half. There's no other way to put it right now. They've taken advantage of their opportunities of strong goaltending play and have just dominated from the first face-off here.
And it goes back to the note that I read you a few minutes ago about that 13-5 win over Longmeadow, Massachusetts. She could say the same thing all over again to the media following this game. Sloppy first half, better second half performance by her team. This was very much a game, only 10-9 at the break, but now an 18-9 lead for the Wave. 5:41 to go, shots 26-22 in favor of the Blue Wave. And off the face-off, controlled again by the ladies in white. And Kristen Woods can only throw her hands up in the air. Along the near side it comes, sent down that sideline. Sky Vandenbroek was on. A whistle keeps it right there. Off the reset, Kirby 25 yards out. Kirby making the move. Kirby looking for another, sends it left. Kirby gets it back, does not take the shot. She goes to the right. Near side, working there is Morrill, who's had a really good second half, and a collision there stops things. Carly Bucci offering her hand to Susie Ropp to help her right back up. 18-9, 4:53 to play.
That was definitely a hockey check.
Off that reset, taking it into the end zone, comes back out, and the whistle stops things there again. With the check, they'll clean it right there. And the free position. And the official says, you, back out, further. Now you can play. And away we go.
I think that's what the ump said to Bryce Harper last night.
Bryce Harper not happy. Near side again. 4:19 to play. Kirby, 25 yards out. Kirby lost the handle on it. And they'll set things up there again off the collision. Kirby through the double team. Kirby trying to get one more. Kirby had it knocked away, and the save made by O'Day. And then bouncing in it goes.
O'Day just unable to get all of that one. It looked like it just hit off the bottom of her stick and was able to find the back of the net. As we are at 10 goals, so the clock will continue to run as Kirby picks up her 7th of the day and gets some well-deserved rest over by the water cooler.
Fair to say that might be the end of the day for Chandler Kirby. 7 goals now on the day and 3:15 to go. This now a 10-goal game. Again, it was 10-9 at halftime. But a face-off win here for the Rams as Armstrong tries to fight her way through. Now it's Granito getting down close. And the collision stopping things there. So Catherine Granito will go 12 yards out. Waiting for the free, makes her move. Had it knocked away by Shudell. Carly Shudell has made a few really good saves and a better second half for her.
It is her 4th save of the second half. She has been perfect for 22 and a half minutes.
Pitching the shutout, 2:25 remaining. Armstrong, splitting defenders, turns around, backs it. Coming off to the near side. At this point, no, you don't expect a miracle down 10 with 2:10 to go. Working down low. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get things back, and you either kind of wipe the slate clean or you say to yourself, let's run our plays for the next time we see them, which you would assume is in the FCIAC playoffs. Ball was loose, bounces over to the near side. Granito grabs it there, 1:47 to go.
You'd like to end on some kind of a high note. Give yourself something to work off of, something to build off of. Yes, we struggled for 24 minutes of that second half, but we did this right at the end. And the other thing to consider is that they played with them in the first half. Whether or not you could say Darien didn't play well, you can argue that you played worse than they did in the first half here in the second.
Ball loose, bounces over to the near side. Granito all alone, but sent it wide. 1:21 to go, 19-9 the score. Again, from behind the cage. Near side, we're down to 1:05 to play. Ball loose and tossed home. So able to score here finally in the second half.
And it was Kylie Murphy. Granito picks up the assist. They finally break through. Shudell. 24 minutes of shutout lacrosse here in the second half.
Exactly 1 minute remaining.
As bad as New Canaan was, Rob, in the second half, you have to keep in mind, after about the first 7 minutes, they had a couple opportunities. You really do need to credit Shudell's play and what she was able to do.
Definitely, Frank, as we talked about in the open and a couple of their times, when Carly Shudell really gets rolling, you're just not going to get the ball past her. She shut out Manhasset. She's shut out the Rams for nearly the entire second half here today. Excellent work by Carly Shudell.
19-10 the score. 1 minute to go as it bounces down into the Blue Wave zone, but they scoop it right back up and go off to the far side. Ball played by freshman Mason Maloney initially. Brings it over to the near side. Ropp waiting there. Backs it all the way out. Held on by Laura Murphy. 40 seconds to play. Shots 27-25 in favor of the Blue Wave and 19-10 on the scoreboard. And an emphatic win as on net it goes, and it's going to go to 20-10 with Laura Murphy.
And Rob, was actually Kaylee Morrow getting the goal off the assist there, cutting down in front of the net and just really able to flick it by O'Day.
I believe that's her third of the day.
Be interesting to see if they even have this last face-off here.
They do not appear to be any rush because they are counting it down to 7. They will get it out there for the face-off, but we're down to 4. Down to 2. Will they even lift the ball? They will not. This one is over. Darien emphatically with a 20-10 win over the New Canaan Rams. A 10-1 second half run for the Blue Wave.
Okay, the HLL girls wanted to play something for you guys. So here it goes. Shout out to the HLL girls.
And they are paying tribute once again to the HLL young ladies here from Harlem. Really nice to see them here. They're having a good time. Of course, that group here from PS 976 from Harlem. And they are forming a partnership with Lisa Lindley's Connecticut Grizzlies.
And it was just ultimately today, Rob, the Rams were outmatched in the second half. The offense for the Wave was on fire, clicking on all cylinders. The Rams couldn't win a faceoff. Credit Katie Cronin, who came in and did such a good job. But our player of the game has got to be either Carly Schudel or Chandler Kirby.
I would agree, one or the other or even both. The final score from Darien High School, the Darien Blue Wave 20, the New Canaan Rams 10. We're back to put a ribbon on it right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
And this broadcast, as we come back to Darien High School, has been brought to you by the Hospital for Special Surgery Outpatient Center in Stamford, where the world comes to get back into the game. Here after the game is Rob Adams, Frank Granito, and A.J. Simonowski. And gentlemen, 7 goals for Chandler Kirby. Really a definitive win. There was no debate here, especially in the second half, who the better team was today.
No, and a definitive win is putting it lightly. They really did put a stamp on this one, and a stamp on being the number 1 seed in the FCIAC tournament, most likely. They'll have Ridgefield As we look at the schedules moving forward, they'll have Norwalk and Wilton left. New Canaan has just Norwalk in conference. They'll start that game with 10 minutes to go in the first half.
That's right.
And then they go up to Longmeadow, Massachusetts for another out-of-conference game. But the Rams may have just positioned themselves into a 3 seed in the FCIAC now because their game against Ridgefield last week was an out-of-conference game, and the Tigers remain unbeaten. in FCIAC play. But AJ, I thought we saw a veteran goalie, and in the second half, the showings of a freshman goalie.
Definitely, and as I was doing my research on this game earlier today, I wondered what kind of a game we were actually going to see. So far this season, Darien has really blown out just about everyone they've played. You're talking goals of, scores of 20-3, 16-5. They have really dominated their competition. New Canaan has played their games much closer to the vest. In their Rams' last 3 wins, they've won by a combined 8 goals before this one. I thought the game we saw in the first half really favored New Canaan. It was very close. And then as we got into the second half, Carly Shadell just got on fire, and Darien ran away with it.
I agree. We saw a lot of great ball movement from the Rams in the first half. They had long possessions. They were winning faceoffs, and that was when they had the best chance to be able to steal this game. But like you said, the blowout wins. With this win now, Darien has a goal differential of plus 115 on the season.
For the Rams, they are now 6-2 in their last 8 games. That breaks a 6-game winning streak for them. For the Blue Wave, they have now won 4 in a row and 9-0-1 in their last 10. Of course, that, if you want to call it a blemish, that 10-10 tie with Manhasset back on April 27th. So, I mean, recapping it, there's not a whole lot more to say. It was just very much a Darien day.
That's all you need to say. I hope that we get to see them again in the FCIAC. These are 2 teams who have played each other for 4 years in 3 different sports. It is such a great rivalry, and you hate to see that it would all come to an end with a blowout such as this.
Absolutely. AJ, a final thought from you.
If we see these 2 teams in the playoffs again, and I'm pretty sure that we will, they've got to stop Chandler Kirby. It all goes through her. That's the key.
Tomorrow, an exciting day on the HAN Network. Of course, coffee break in the morning, Nutmeg Sports later on, and the CT Pulse as well. But not to be forgotten, baseball tomorrow afternoon.
Wilton and Staples. I am very excited to be on my first baseball call.
And I'm excited to have you along for the call. We'll be there at Staples High School in a rematch of last year's FCIAC championship. And look, that's still a matter of anyone's ball game. Both teams kind of need that win tomorrow, which makes it really good.
And it was like you said earlier, it really is just such a wide-open conference right now. I think this will be one of the great games to see where we all end up positioned. And honestly, if I were a betting man, I don't even know if I could pick a team for the tournament right now.
And the HLL girls, by the way, have taken over the press box and are now spinning the tunes in there. So with that said, we'll let them play the tunes. We'll play one tune and get on out of here. That'll do it from Darien High School. The final score, the Darien Blue Wave 20 and the New Canaan Rams 10. For the Blue Wave, they are now 12-1-1 on the year. They are 8-0 in the FCIAC. For the Rams, they are 12-2 on the year, and they are 8-1 in the FCIAC. Again, coffee break starts your day tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, and then we're back with you later in the day following CT Pulse and Nutmeg Sports with baseball tomorrow afternoon as the Wilton Warriors take on the Staples Wreckers in a rematch of the 2015 FCIAC Championship game. For our entire crew here at Darien High School, Marty Hersom, JB Cousins, Dave Stewart, Steve Buno, Eric Gendron, AJ Simonowski, Frank Granito, I'm Rob Adams. The final score, Darien 20, New Canaan 10. You've been watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network. Good night from Darien High School.